The R1 is finally here. Canon's brand new flagship mirrorless cam was teased a few months ago, along with some very lofty promises about its capabilities, especially regarding autofocus performance and subject detection modes that utilize deep learning technology. Now, we only had a day with the R1 to put it through as many of its paces as we could, but even with just a few hours of hands-on time, we came away extremely impressed. For sports and wildlife photographers, news reporters, and video producers doing mission-critical work, the R1's unique combo of AF modes, customization options, and photo and video features don't really exist together in any other camera right now. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's take a look at the main specs. You're getting a 24.2 megapixel backside illuminated stacked full-frame sensor on the R1 that is capable of shooting up to 40 frames per second, as well as up to 20 frames pre-capture when you half-press the shutter. You're also able to record 6K raw video at up to 60 frames per second, in addition to 4K and Full HD videos in just about every codec and flavor of log you could need. Now, on paper, those specs are fine for a flagship mirrorless camera in 2024, but they don't really tell the full story of what the R1 is capable of. The R1 comes with a new Digic accelerator that works in conjunction with the Digic X processor to quickly analyze large volumes of data, such as shot analyses for subjects, eye info, and action taking place. Now, that all may sound vague at first, but in practice, it felt like witchcraft at times, especially with the new action priority mode. So with this mode enabled, the R1 actually understands the context of what it's looking at, which allows for incredible subject detection when you're photographing unpredictable action like a sports game. This meant that in our test, when Sam was dribbling the soccer ball, the R1 understood that she was the main subject because she had the ball. But then when she passed it to Hunter, before the ball even got to him, the focus shifted to him because the camera understood that a soccer ball was being passed to another player and that they should now be the main subject. In the heat of the live sports game, this is an absolute bonkers level of precision for ensuring your camera stays focused on the action. We only got to test this with soccer, but when the camera ships, there will also be modes for basketball and volleyball as well. Another great implementation of this technology that comes over from the R3 is pre-registered person priority. This allows you to photograph your subjects in advance, either in person or from any still image, and have the R1 prioritize who to focus on when multiple people are in the frame. It also supports subject crossing, which means that even when a priority subject has someone else cross in front of them, the focus does not start hunting for another subject and stays locked on. This new Digic accelerator also adds the ability to upscale your images in camera. For this, the image you start with has to be a JPEG, but in a few menu clicks you can quadruple the resolution to get images with more than 96 megapixels to play with. iFocus also carryovers from the R3, which unfortunately is basically impossible to demo without you trying it for yourself. Now, the R1's improved version of this allows you to calibrate multiple eyeballs so that you get a floating reticle of what your eye is actually looking at in the EVF, and then you can half press the shutter button to focus on whatever that is. Video specs are also top of the line, maxing out at that 6K raw at up to 60 frames per second, but also 4K at up to 120 frames per second with audio, and a really sharp 240 frames per second in Full HD. C-Log 2 and C-Log 3 are also available as well, and the inclusion of XF-HEVC-S and XF-AVC-S codecs means that the R1 can integrate seamlessly into Cinema EOS workflows as well. There's also so many ways you can customize this camera that there was no way we could test them all in one day, but one really cool example we were shown was just with the AF3 button on the back. Now, we set this to enable the high burst rate on the actual day of our test, but you could customize either the half press or the full press to do pretty much whatever you want. Seriously, everything you've been seeing on the screen right now has just been some of the photography options. Here's some of the video options as well. The R1 itself comes in at just over 2 pounds and was comfortable to handhold the whole day thanks to Canon's excellent ergonomics. On the back, you're getting a great high-res rotating LCD screen, but where Canon really pulled out all the stops was with the EVF. It's a 9.44 million dot EVF with OVF simulated view assist that gives you a 0.9 times magnification and fully blackout-free shooting. The camera is also dust and water resistant and features up to 8.5 stops of coordinated IBIS. The camera takes the same LPE19 batteries as the R3 and records media to dual CF Express Type B card slots on the side. On the other side for I/O, you've got a full-sized HDMI, thank you Canon, USB-C, 3.5mm stereo jacks for headphones and mics, and an RJ45 for direct connectivity via Ethernet. Now, there's so many other features crammed into the R1 that we didn't get to test, but we have to at least shout out. You can hit up to 102,400 ISO, which, in conjunction with the new neural network noise reduction, should greatly reduce noise in low light shooting situations. You're also getting 24-bit 4-channel audio, built-in frame.io integration, and for video shooters you get a tally light, zebras, focus peaking, and false color all built in as well. If you're looking for a camera to photograph your coworkers playing soccer in a public park, then I can confirm the R1 is overkill. But for professionals who need a camera with the most flexibility, customization, and possibly most importantly, reliability, the R1 is a powerful tool built for mission-critical work that is worth checking out for those who want the best performance you can get in a Canon camera today. But since this is the internet, I am sure you have some hot takes, so let us know in the comments below what you think of the R1 and what you shoot with it. I'm Nick with B&H. Stay creative.